Hello YouTube, I am back. It is one of two G1 reveal unboxing videos this week. The last two G1s I have for the time being, let's just say that. There may be more eventually, there may not be, I don't know. But for now, these are the last two that I have in my possession. And these are the two I am most excited for. These are I think, the original two combiners that appeared in the series. This is, I think, the second team that appeared, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll post, I think I have 3 of these characters from this combiner team in my Masterpiece collection. So I will post the links to the videos again in the body of this video description so that you can see what they're all about. And I was bidding on eBay for the other two, but lost. They're very hard to find now, so I'm kind of really pissed off about that. I'd like to get all 5 of them, but it is what it is. But at least I will have all 5 of them of the G1 variety. So, but like I said, I'll post those videos so you can kind of get a more accurate description of this team. But without further ado, the team I'm talking about are the Autobots Aerialbots. So the Aerialbots are a little different for the Autobots because all 5 of them, as you may assume by their name, they're all planes. Their domain is the air. So just like with Menasor and the Stunticons, for the Decepticons, those characters all being ground vehicles were kind of the Decepticons' answer to the fact that not all, but most of the Autobots are ground-based vehicles, and the Decepticons are more in the air. The Stunticons were the Decepticons' answer to the Autobots' ground forces. So the Aerialbots are basically the opposite of that, and they're the Autobots' answer to the Decepticons' more air characters. So because the Autobots really only have Power Glide, Cosmos, Broadside was a triple changer. He turned into a jet. So they have a few characters that can hit the skies, but for the most part, they're on the ground. So these guys were brought in as kind of reinforcements in the air. And so the 5 of them combined to form a giant robot named Superion, and he is pretty fantastic. These guys, back in the day, I had 0 Aerialbots. So just like with the Combaticons from my last video, I had none of them as a kid. I also had none of these guys. So this is a team that I'm very excited to get out of the bag and get the stickers on and put together and finally have on my shelf and know that I now have the Aerialbots in my possession. So without further ado, let's do just that and get these guys out the bag, yo. Okay, the Aerialbots. So excited. You know what? Let's start with the accoutrements. Okay, so we got the usual suspects in the instructions. There's the ones that you can rub and the sign comes up, but these ones don't seem to work on these knockoff ones, so I'm not bothering to put them on anymore. Yeah, there's no point. Come on, there we go. And then of course, oh good, and these stickers are labeled, unlike the Combaticons ones. So yeah, under each of the logos, Transformers logo here, we have an Air Raid. So these are his stickers sort of thing, right? So they have all those sections. So that makes a hell of a difference. The Combaticons ones, I got most of them, but some of them are really confusing. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So this guy here is one of the most recognizable of the jets because he's a Harrier apparently. And his name is Slingshot. I believe he forms one of the arms of a Superion. Here we have not dive bomb. That's one of the Predacons. Skydive. Skydive. I always get those names mixed up for some reason. So this here is Skydive. He's kind of recognizable with like his gray color and then with the black wings. Like he's a very noticeable character. They're all kind of unique in their own way. And Slingshot, like he's got a weird shape. So they're all very kind of unique. Here we got Fireflight. Again, very recognizable. Red body, white wings. You know, they're all kind of unique. This guy was my favorite though, other than the main guy. This here is Air Raid. And I just love, like I've always loved these F-15s, F-14s. So this style of jet, like this is just like Starscream and Thundercracker and Skydive, like the exact same jet. Obviously not as big as those guys, but the exact same jet. And I love that jet. That's one of my favorite planes of all time. So I was always a big Air Raid guy. And then the leader, who forms the torso of Superion, is Silverbolt. Just get his wheels down. I can't remember if he was a Concorde or not, but obviously a very unique looking jet himself, and much bigger than the other guys. And he is one of the Masterpiece characters that I'm missing. Of course, one of the big guy, the guy that's going to be the most expensive, right? So the two Masterpiece guys I'm missing are Silverbolt and Slingshot. So I almost had Slingshot. I was very close to getting the bid on that one, but lost out in the end. So yeah, those are the five aerial bots. And here, as usual, we have all of these Superion details. Yeah, and now I kind of forget which guys go where. Oh, Slingshot's a leg. So Skydive's an arm, Slingshot's a leg, Air Raid's an arm, and so Fireflight must be a leg. Huh. Yeah, I thought for sure Slingshot was an arm because he's kind of a smaller guy, right? I couldn't remember because they all look kind of the same when they're all transformed and into Superion, right? And I never had this guy as a kid, so I'm kind of unfamiliar with his transformation and his combination, right? So it looks like we got some sort of ramp here. I'm not sure what that's for. We got a chest plate for Superion. We got his 2 feet. We got his 2 fists. We got his head. His head is awesome. He's such a cool looking robot. We got his crotch, waist section, and then it looks like they all have the same type of gun, just a little different. And then obviously that's Silverbolt's gun and Superion's probably. Yeah, so that is all of the stuff that the Aerialbot team includes. So I will switch over to time lapse. We will get these guys transformed and the stickers on, and then we will eventually get him into Superion, and then after that we'll wrap this sucker up. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love this guy. In fact, I know it. So there he is, the Aerialbots combining into Superion. Like I said, his head is awesome. It is such a cool face. Um, I really love this figure because, like I said, he was one of the original two combiners, and I always wanted these toys as a kid, but never had them. So it's so exciting now to have these five characters in my collection. But of the of the four now, um, combiner teams that I have unboxed and put together, this one, in terms of quality, has been the lowest, I think, so far. It's it's got a lot of rickety, kind of dicey aspects to it that kind of had me a little bit worried. Uh, Back here on his legs, Silverbolt's legs, like you can see the seam and the two pieces where they come together. Well, you might not be able to, but there's a seam in both, and they come apart a little bit. So then I press them together and they go back together. Same thing on the seams on when you transform the four smaller characters. You have to pull the nose cone and the tail up behind the character, and they have a seam down the middle as well, and they're kind of loose. So and back here on Silverbolt's tail fin, same thing there. So there's a lot of kind of loose, kind of rickety stuff in this character that I didn't really like. And the way his fists kind of went into the end of the characters, this one's a little bit loose. This one was impossible to get in. I had to really jam it in. So this one wasn't as built as with as high a quality as the three that have come before it. But at the same time, everything in the end worked out. Everything is together, and we have a identifiable Superion robot here. So, you know, in the end, everything worked out. It's just kind of lacking the quality that the other three combiners have had so far. But I'm, like I said, overall, I'm just very excited to now have this guy in my possession. I gotta find a spot for him now because the other three have kind of taken up some of the remaining open spaces here. But I will find a way. Just like in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. When it comes to Transformers, I will find a way. Hope you enjoyed the video. We got one more coming later this week. The ultimate combiner, my favorite of them all. You probably know who I'm talking about. Immediate competition to Superion. You'll see soon enough, but you know who I'm talking about. Can't wait. See y'all.
Meow.